Good morning, and to our friends joining us abroad, good evening. Welcome to Mirage Talks. Today, we welcome Ayelet Israeli, founder and organization manager of HalevAfrica, the heart of Africa. Ayelet, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's get started.
All right, thank you so much. I'm very excited. It's my pleasure and my honor to be invited by the Mirage Foundation. So thank you for everybody to come here and take the time to listen to the talk. And I hope you get a value out of it. My story began 3 years ago when I was about to celebrate my 50th birthday. You know, in the Western world, 50 is a big age and everybody celebrated really in a big ways. So a lot of my friends and family came over to me like 2-3 months before and started to give me ideas how to celebrate my 50th birthday. Some of them told me to go to great vacations in the Caribbean, to lie down on the sand and think about my life, what I did and what I want to do in the future. Some of them told me that this is the right time to ask for the present that I really, really wanted. And some of them told me, you know what you should do? You should just have a good, great party with a lot of people, with catering, with music. You know, sometimes people tell you what they want you to do, not what is exactly the things that fit you. And actually, every time that some of them came with another idea how to celebrate my birthday, I felt inside that, excuse me, it was really far from what my heart wants to do in this particular birthday. And I remember in November, one of the mornings, I got up in the morning, I made myself a cup of coffee and I went to the balcony and I was reading an article about Danny Kushmar, he is a reporter in Israel, if you don't know him. And he had a very bad accident in Italy and he had to stay a couple of months over there just in the hospital to heal. And he wrote down in this article, at the end of it, a sentence, and he wrote there, don't wait. Do what your heart wants to do today. Don't wait for the accident, for the disease, for the bad things to come, because they're gonna come. So do what your hearts want today. And I'm closing this newspaper, and I'm having conversation with myself, and I'm thinking to myself, if anything is possible, and you don't have any limits, not economic limits, not family, not place limits, what would you want to do for your 50th birthday? And in that morning, I'm having a decision that it's going to change my life. So my name is Ayelet Israeli, and I'm 53 years old. I was born in Hulon, which is a close city to Tel Aviv, to a very simple family. My father was a bus driver. My mother was a housekeeper. She didn't even learn in the university. Very simple family, but very loved one. I graduated high school. I went to the army to be a guide in the Gadna, which does not exist anymore. Afterwards, I didn't take any backpack and went to look for myself in India or other places. I went straight to the university to learn informal education. And during my studies in the university, I felt that I really want to be a dance teacher. So I continue my studies and I become a dance teacher for 15 years. I met my husband and I started a family. I have 2 grown-up girls. One is 24 and one is 21. And then in one of the days, my husband told me that we have an offer to move to New York. And we moved to New York because of his work. He used to work in Bank Leumi. And when we moved to New York, we lived in the Bronx. And in the Bronx, I understood that every 10 years old is dancing better than me. So I quit and I learned nutrition and coaching. Things were not coming easy, but I invented myself every time again and again. And then when we came back to Israel, I opened a fashion business. I opened 2 stores and I was importing shoes until that day in the balcony that I making a decision that is totally different and changing my life. So what was the decision? What I wanted for my 50th birthday. During all my life, I was volunteering in a lot of places in Israel, in hospitals with Holocaust survivors, in boarding schools. And I loved the feeling that I was waiting for the day that I'm going to volunteer and to have the time with the kids or with the other people over there. And when I'm sitting down in the balcony, until today, I don't know why, someone was calling me from Africa. And I said, I'm going to go to Africa to volunteer 45 days on by my own with nobody. I never, went abroad or for other places by myself. So it was like also to meet myself and to be in the orphanage with the kids. And, it was a decision that was really different from who I was until that day. When I told my friends and my husband and everybody that I'm going to Africa and I'm going to volunteer in an orphanage, everybody was looking at me like, Ayelet, you sure? You that are not eating if it's not clean, that are not going if it's too far? And I said, yes, I'm going to Africa all by myself. And to make a long story short, after 2 months of, wait a second, I'm pressing the slide and it doesn't move. So Christy, can you help me with that? Sorry, everybody.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
So you just need to click the next. You're in the right. You're in the right. Oh, again, it's in Hebrew. Hold on.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Find it. Okay.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
And after 2 months, I was looking for a place to to volunteer in an orphanage. I found a small orphanage in Tanzania, and I'm flying all by myself for 45 days. I'm landing in the Kilimanjaro, which is the highest mountain in Africa, of course. And by the way, all the pictures that you're going to see in the slide today, I took them. Nothing from website or other people gave it to me. It's me. So some of them are good, some of them are not so good, but it's authentic anyway. So I'm landing in the Kilimanjaro, and you can see in the picture the Kilimanjaro in the dry season, and the peak is not so snow. And this is the Kilimanjaro in the wet season. The small town that the orphanage is inside of it, called Moshi. Moshi is like 45 minutes from the Kilimanjaro. I'm landing over there, and the manager of the orphanage is coming to pick me up with 2 of his friends, because I'm a white woman all by myself. So they come to pick me up, and we're starting our way towards the orphanage and the guest house. Now, Tanzania is the largest country in the east of Africa. It has 60 million people, and 67% of the population in Tanzania earns less than $3 a day. The people are very poor. But the country, I don't know if some of you were there in safari, the country is beautiful and very rich. They have the most amazing reserves that you can ever see: the Serengeti, Ngorongoro, Tarangire, Manyara Lake, amazing places. But Tanzania was hurt because of the epidemic, the AIDS epidemic 30 years ago, most of all the countries in Africa. 1.3 million people died in Tanzania because of AIDS. So it created a nation of orphans. And those orphans grew up with no parents, with no education, nobody to take care of. And, you know, they got involved also with other girls and another nation of orphans. The orphans I was about to see and to visit, most of them are orphans due to AIDS, and some of them are orphans because their parents died because of an accident and or just because they were old. The life expectancy in Tanzania is 63 years old, which is just amazing. Like, I can't even think about it, 63 years old. It's old over there. So I knew I'm going to the orphanage, and I knew there will be 14 kids, girls and boys together, but I didn't know if some of them are HIV positive. I didn't know how their mental and how I'm going to connect with them, because they talk Swahili, but I didn't know Swahili those days. And also they talk a little bit of English. I didn't know how it's going to work. I only knew there are 14 kids that are waiting for me for 45 days. In Tanzania, they have 120 tribes and 120 languages also, but Swahili connected everybody together. So we're heading to Moshi, and on the way, I'm starting to see Africa that I didn't see until then. You know, we all see Africa on TV, on the news, like this place with the diseases, with the kids, with the bloated bellies, the deserts, the poverty. We see very, very bad pictures. But then I saw other pictures. No, this I didn't see from the airport until Moshi. Yeah, was one day of safari. But these are the pictures that I'm seeing during the way that I'm going to the orphanages. The baobab tree, which are amazing, and the sky is very bright. A lot of trees of papaya and coffee and bananas. There are more than 20 kind of bananas in Tanzania. Here you can see the baobab trees. You can see the person sitting down beneath this, just that you will see how huge is this tree. And then there are the houses. The biggest tribe in Tanzania is the Maasai. So this house is the Maasai house. Actually, the women are building the Maasai house. And I remember I saw it, and it was amazing. I saw how they build it. They build it as like in a community. It was very, very nice. And then I remember I took this picture and I was like in a shock for a minute, because I didn't understand it was a cow. You know, it took me like a couple of seconds to understand that I'm looking at a cow. It's true that in Israel, we don't have cows like in Belgium, but still a cow is a cow. And when I saw this picture, I remember thinking about the 7 good years and the 7 bad years, the dream of Joseph. And it was like, really, I was thinking to myself, if the animals are so hungry and they look like this, what's going on with the people? But then right afterwards, I'm seeing beautiful faces running towards the running towards the car, smiling at me. I remember this kid, I was looking at his face and I understood the expression, smiling eyes for the first time. He was all dirty, but I didn't care. He was welcoming me so nicely. And after that, all the pictures was like this. I saw so many kids on the way. very poor kids from the villages, smiling, calling me Karibu. Karibu Sana means welcome. They're also calling me Muzungu. Muzungu is the expression of the white person by the African. And they're all smiling at me. You know, girls are carrying buckets of water for miles and miles, for hours, but they stop and they smile and they're happy. And I remember thinking to myself that this was something that I missed in the Western world, that we're not excited anymore from the small, simple things. It was amazing to see. They're running towards the car, and I had like a bag of balloons. So I gave them balloons, and they were so happy. And we arrived to the neighborhood, which the orphanage was there. And you know, they told me that this neighborhood is not safe. And after 5 o'clock, I shouldn't go by myself around. So I took a guest house, which was really close to the orphanages, like 2 minutes from there. I'm putting my suitcases in the small room, and I'm going with the manager to the orphanage to see the kids. I was so excited. I didn't know what to expect. I had my backpack on me, and we were going through this black metal door, and I'm opening it, and it's rusty. And I'm looking in a very neglected backyard, and I'm seeing 14 kids just scattered around the yard, looking at me, waiting for me to do the first step. It took me 2 minutes to put myself together. I'm throwing my backpack on the floor. I'm opening my hands to them, and I'm saying in Hebrew, Mi ba'ale chibuk. Mi ba'ale chibuk means who is going to come over and hug me? You know, they say that you're very excited or feel so much, you speak in your own language. So, you know, that's what happened. And I was calling them in Hebrew, and they were running towards me. And from that moment, we didn't need any language, just love and smiling together. We were 45 days together. And then I started to understand what's going on. Now, how does an orphanage look like? So this is the backyard. You know, they don't have a place to cook inside the house. They cook on fire. So they have a big pile of wood. And I remember I'm very organized and very neat. And I remember all the time telling them to put all the woods aside. And they told me, no, Ayelet, if we're not going to have woods, we're not going to have the rice and beans in the evening. So it's in the middle of the space, and whatever they find wood, they're going to put it in the pile. They have two small rooms, you can see, one for the girls and one for the boys, because when you open up an orphanage in Tanzania, the government tells you that you have to do two things. First of all, to separate the boys from the girls. And the second thing is that each kid will have a safety net because of the malaria from the mosquito. So this is the yard. They don't have anything, no games, no tables and chairs to sit down for homework, nothing. Just an empty space. Their clothes that they're washing their clothes on the rope that I brought from Israel to put it in the pile of the woods. Inside the room, it looks like that. It has only a bunk bed to put as much kid as they can in the floor down and upstairs. And then you can see also the net that they have to. A lot of people ask me why there is no net on the upper bed. And the reason is very simple. I asked the kids who is sleeping upstairs and took the net out. And they told me that they took it out because all of them, they want to sleep together downstairs, that they can be, you know, with each other, feel the heat of the body of each other and not be by themselves. So this was the reason. So what are the kids, what are the orphans doing in their everyday life? They get up in the morning. Just a second, before I continue, I forgot, I have 3 more pictures of orphanages that I found kids inside. It's not nice pictures, but this is the reality. So I'm just going to show them to you. This is one. This is another one. You can see the little boy, Pascal, who is sleeping on his bed. This is his bed. This is another room that I found 3 girls together living in this room for 3 years. And that's it. We're going to move next to their schedule. So they get up in the morning and they go to the government school. Government school looks like that. This is the yard. It's very, very old school. They stay in classes, 40 until 60 kids. These are the classes. And the kids that are learning in government school are kids from regulars family and of course the orphans. And they don't really learn anything because they go to the school and after an hour, 2 hours, they go back to the orphanage. You know, I was getting up in the morning and going really early to the orphanage to wash their clothes, to organize, to give them the porridge. They drink a porridge, like a corn porridge in the morning. And after that, they go to school. And after 1 hour, they came back. And I was asking them, why did you come back? You know, you have school until 1 o'clock. And they told me, I didn't have a pencil. So they told me to go home. My shirt is dirty. So they told me to go home. They don't want to deal with so many kids. The teachers have so many responsibilities for so many kids. The level of learning is so different between all those kids. So they just send them back home. And the kids doesn't really learn anything. And by the age of 8, 9, they drop out of school and become street kids. And that's it. They never go back to school. Here is another class of the kids. You can see them. They're sitting on the floor. And you see they're crowded. This was, I think, a kindergarten. Yes, a kindergarten in Mabugini. All of them together. Just imagine 38 degrees, very hot. They're all together. So, you know, when I was going every day to the orphanage from the guest house, I saw a lot of teenagers sitting outside my guest house. And I was asking them, what are you doing here? And they said, nothing. We drop out of school. We don't have anything to do. And I said, you know what? Come with me. You're going to help me in the orphanage. And by the end of the day, I'm going to buy you soda and French fries in the local bar. And they said, fine. And this is what we do. So I was washing everything and they helped me renovate the place also. And it was amazing to see that the teenager got connected with the little kids. They were translating me a lot of the Swahili and they were connecting to the kids. And every day I found that these teenagers know how to sing. This one know how to draw. They had so many qualities that I can use and they can help me with. And it was really, really amazing to see the bond between them and the kids at the orphanage. Here you can see Veronica, and you can see my backpack on the bench over there behind. You can see Veronica at dinner, eating the dish with rice and beans. I ate there for 45 days, every day, rice and beans. Now, it was the first time in my life that I was hungry because from the morning until the evening, 7:30, the kids doesn't eat anything. Now, during the time I was sending people and we bought some stuff on the market, like fruit and vegetables and other things, because I was hungry. I had like energy bars and they were finished after 1 week. And then I was really hungry. Now, this is the most amazing dish ever, rice and beans. It's so tasty. But the thing is that I remember every evening, the Bibi, the grandfather, was calling one of the kids, Susie, to come. And first of all, in front of all the kids and before all the kids, they're going to bring me the bigger dish of the rice and beans. They took from themselves and they brought it to me because I was the guest. Very nice to see. Now you can see them here eating like other things, like, they have beans and hummus and also corn, whatever the neighbor had leftovers, they were giving to Bibi, the grandmother, and then she would cook it for them. And I was really hungry and I wanted the kids to have something else to eat. And I went for like the Muzungu supermarket, which was a little bit far from there. And I bought spaghetti and I cooked them spaghetti. And you know what? It was the stickiest spaghetti ever. I'm always saying to myself that if my daughters saw this spaghetti, they would never touch it. But the kids loved it and enjoyed it. And every week they were telling me, Ayelet, when is spaghetti day? They called it spaghetti day. And here you can see the teenagers coming with me with watermelons to see the kids. And it was really, really amazing. But my time was about to finish. And I started to think how I'm going to say goodbye to the kids. Because, it's great that I gave myself this amazing present for my 50th birthday to volunteer. But is it really valuable for those kids? Now they saw that they can be loved and they ate better and somebody took care of them and somebody was reading them stories. And now I'm going to take all of this with me and go to my comfortable life in Israel. It really bothers me. And in that time, it was like 4 days before I left, I thought to myself that I'm doing much more damage than I'm giving those kids something. And I didn't know what to do. I was talking with my husband on the phone every evening and telling him all of my thoughts. And I told him, listen, I don't know what to do. I don't want to cry in front of those kids. They have suffered so much. So how can I leave them now? And he gave me a very good idea what to do. And he said, you know what, Ayelet, I don't know if it's going to be the last time you see those kids, because he knows me a little bit. But why would you celebrate them a birthday party? They never celebrated a birthday party, and it was a great idea. And this is what I did. This is the renovation of the place. You see, I've put also hearts on the wall because I wanted them to feel that I'm there, even though I left. But we did a very big party. I even drove to Arusha, which is 2 hours from them, to buy a cake and candies and the hats and everything. And it's amazing because a lot of the kids, they didn't have the date of their birth. I had to sit down with the manager of the orphanage and invent them a date. And we did this, and then I left. I remember, the flights to Tanzania from Israel are connected. They're not direct flights. So I had a connection in Istanbul. And I'm sure some of you, if not all of you, have been to Istanbul airport. This is the most rich, amazing, full of beautiful people, new airport in the world. And I'm landing in Istanbul airport with the same backpack. And I'm standing in front of all those people running with their suitcases. Everybody's looking shiny. Everybody's beautiful with suits, amazing families. I'm seeing somebody's eating hamburger and throw it away. I'm seeing a lot of beautiful women with so many diamonds, everybody with presents. And I want to stop them. I want to shout. I want to say, hey, wait just a second. Do you know how kids are living really close to here? And it was, for me, it was really, really difficult to go back. It took me a long time to go back to my family, to my environment, to my country, to the Western world after what I see. But after 1 month, I sat down with my family and with my husband, and I was talking about all the experience that I had. And I decided to do something different. And I decided to found HalevAfrica. HalevAfrica is actually a humanitarian organization which focus on education. I understood after going the same year, a couple of times again to Tanzania, that the things that those kids needs is education. They don't need me to come and volunteer. They don't need the Mzungus, the white people, to come and show them how better life is in here or what they're missing. They need education. They need to do it by themselves. And the people who are successful in the same area that I'm working today are the people that finished high school. These are the people that someone donated $100 per 6 months for them, and they succeeded. They finished high school, they have English, they can work in a store, they can be a safari guide, they can be a driver, they can be whoever they want in their own society, but they're better and they can, of course, provide to their family. So I picked up together 7 founders from Israel, and together we founded HalevAfrica. And now HalevAfrica is working with a lot of orphanages in Tanzania. Now you can see the kids, they look like English kids now. I see these pictures that I'm so proud of them. How does it work? I'm personally going to Tanzania 2 or 3 times in a year. I'm going actually this August for 45 days. I'm going for long periods of time. I'm locating the kids in the orphanages or in the villages. And after I'm locating kids, which they tell me they're orphans or vulnerable, or neglected, somebody just left them, I'm confirming their family situation and go to see exactly where the village they came from, who their tribe. And after this kid is coming to our waiting list, I'm starting to find a sponsor or a group of people as sponsor to these kids for at least 2-3 years, because I don't want to put a kid in a private or boarding school and then to take him out. And then one by one, I'm taking the kids, the kids, their level of learning is so weak. There are kids, 11 years old, that doesn't know how to do 1 + 1. So I have to take them to the school to have tests. They have to do also health checkup before they get to the school to see if they're HIV positive, if they need any medications. And we're doing all the checkups for them. And then I'm sitting down in those schools and arguing with the manager and with all the teacher that they will take this kid. And, they have to make an effort, because a lot of the private and the boarding school doesn't want to take the kids because they're going to take the level of the school down. Tanzania is doing all the schools competition every year. And, if the kid will take the level down, so the school will be down. So it's a negotiation all of the time. You remember Pascal, who was sleeping on the bed before? So here is Pascal over here. Now is in a different place, in a private school, in a very, very good environment with his twin brother. And this is also Daoudi. And these are two girls that were raped by the stepfather and got pregnant. I took them out from school. We have terrible stories, but I promised those girls that I'm never going to show their faces. So this is why it's from the back. And when I come to the school today, all the kids know HalevAfrica kids, and I'm doing them a lot of I'm like the cousin. I'm coming over, I'm giving them kisses and hugs, just that they would know that they have a family, of course. And we also have a very, very amazing other project. Every year, I had so many things that I needed for the kids in the orphanages, like clothes and toys, and a lot of necessities, like shoes. And I didn't have money to buy them because the money goes straight to their education. And then one day I get a call, and on the other side of the call, there is an Israeli guy that said that he heard about the foundation, HalevAfrica Foundation, and he wants to help. And I had a meeting with him, and it comes up that this guy is a founder of Africa and More. Africa and More is a company for shipping from Israel to all of the continent of Africa. And I said to myself, oh my God, I need just one thing from you. I need you to ship me 20 boxes each year to Tanzania. And that's what he did. And 3 years, they're sending for us 20 boxes. Now, I'm not even writing down on in the internet on a post that I need toys and books and clothes. And I have hundreds of calls from Israeli people and from companies from Israel that want to donate dolls for the kids and shoes and clothes, of course. And we bring all these to the kids and, new stuff. We don't need to buy more for them. You can see here the private schools, which look much better than the government. This is our local team that helps with everything. When I'm not there, they're running around. Monkongo, you have to take this kid to check up. You have to take Najima to do her sunglasses, a lot of things. And here you can see also the 20 boxes. Actually, this Sunday, this shipping of Africa and More is going to the kids. And then I arrive like 3 weeks after the shipping is there, and I can go to the kids in the orphanage and give them this thing. You can see in the picture Lillian that got Ofek dress. And, I think when I send Ofek, the mother of Ofek this picture, it was an amazing, just to show Ofek that her dress is with Lillian and the meaning of giving. And we go through the villages and, give the kids a lot of stuff. We go to the families that you can see the crippled people and with a lot of kids. And it's all, really far villages and no Muzungu over there. And before I'm going to end, my time is up almost. Before I'm going to end, I want to give you 3 insights from my journey and from Africa. Something you can take for your daily life, for your businesses, for your family, for your relationship. And I think it has a value inside of it. So the first one is, it's obvious that giving and sharing make us happy. They even say that they did researches, and people that are giving on a daily basis, they are much more healthier and happier than others. So this, of course, everybody knows. But the thing is, when we give, we really need to think about the person or the people that we're giving to, what they need, and not that it's just going to make us feel better. Because at the end of the day, we want those people to be independent. We want them to be less needy. So we really need to think before we're doing or giving to someone else, is it going to really help him? Is it going to make him more independent, that he will not need anymore? This is the first one. The second one is that a social change is always a group game, but all individual can start one. It's true that this journey starts with me, and I am HalevAfrica face. But without so many people with me, I can't do it. I can help 1, 2 kids. I can't do it. So many people are helping me in this journey. And I'm a simple person. I'm not someone that comes from a rich family or, I don't know, from a status or have so many connections around the world or even know the foundations area. I just started something, and I have a lot of people that not just donating money for the project, that are helping me, connecting me, giving me the stage to talk. And, even the smallest stuff, a teacher that said to the principal in the school that I'm doing this program in Tanzania, and the principal calls me and tells me, Ayelet, when you sit down with all the kids, there is a new technique for mathematics. Teach them there, or teach the teachers. It goes on and on, but it's a group game. This is the second one. The third one, I think, which is the most important one, is that it's not reasonable that during our days, millions and millions of people are growing up in environments which don't have access to water, don't have electricity, live in such poverty, and they don't even get their human rights for education and for health. I think this is the privilege and the obligation of the Jewish and the Israeli people to give to those people from our knowledge, from our resources, from our way of thinking, and from our connections to those people. And not to think that we have to give only to Jewish and Israelis around the world. They will be first, always, but also to give to people because we are all humans. Amos Oz wrote in one of his books an amazing paragraph. It says like this: when somebody sees a fire, he needs to come and help to put it off. If he has a bucket, he should fill it with water and come and try to put the fire off. If he doesn't have a bucket, he has a glass, a cup, he should fill it with water and come and help to put off the fire. If he doesn't have a glass, a cup, he have the spoon. All of us has a spoon. Thank you very much. I will open it for questions. Feel free to ask me and to tell me, how do you feel?
Ayelet, that was so excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. And absolutely, let's open Q&A. Let's get started.
Yeah, thanks a lot. If there are not any other questions, so maybe can I start?
Please do.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, Ayala, thank you so much. Super inspiring talk.
Thank you.
After I joined. Yeah, so actually one of the things that I think really touched me, at least, is I'm thinking about my daughters, and I really want them to be more appreciative. I think they are, but I mean, in our environment, in our reality, it's very hard for them to even understand that, you know, something like what's going on in Africa exists. I was thinking throughout the talk, wow, I should take them there, but I think it might be too shocking. But yeah, maybe I was trying to think about the scalability of your project, and I was wondering, first of all, how big is it now? And second question is how to make more people involved. And my thought was introducing it to the younger generation, exactly like you gave the example of Ofek's dress, and how could that be done?
All right. So for your first questions, I didn't say it in the talk, but each kid cost us per year $1,000. It's including everything, his health insurance, the school, clothes, everything. And now we have a little bit more than 20 kids. And every year we need to also add kids and to take care of the ones that we did. Most of our supporters are regular families that do it as a group. Each family is donating $100, $200 per year. And together, 7 families or 10 families are monitoring 1 kid along the way. So we have a little bit more than 100 families that are helping. Now I have to say that because they did a very big article on me on Ynet, so I had also a few donors that want to donate the whole $1,000. They want to have a kid that they can adopt and they can see his progress along the way, but we don't have a lot of like this. And it's the beginning, it's the beginning. I always say to everybody that it's not the numbers. It's not that I have 172 kids. We have a lot of kids. The most important thing is that each and one of them will really improve and that we can monitor. I don't want it to be like millions of kids and millions of people and that I will not know them even, because this will be exactly like the other big foundation in Africa that you don't know where the money goes to. So I'm not saying I want it to stay small. No. But I want it to grow in a way that I can see the kids are improving and that I can see that each one of them, I'm not going to take him to school and then after 1 year, like it happens with the corona, I lost 30 families because things like that happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is for the first question. For the second question is that you don't know how many letters and emails I wrote to the education system in Israel, telling them I'm going to come voluntarily to the schools, to the high schools, to do my talk, even though I think they should pay for it. But I just want to spread the word. You know, after the article they did on Ynet, kids from the art school in Tel Aviv wrote to me messages. They said, Ayelet, we want us to come. And I told them, listen, I need the approval of the principal. It took them 1 month to get the approval. And I was there 2 weeks ago in their class, only because they wrote to me. So, you know, all of you can connect me to other schools, to other places. I will come to all the schools, to classes, to whatever it is, to do this talk. I think it's so important. I think it should be in the program. This is what I think. But, you know, I'm one person. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I need ambassadors. So I would love you to help me with that.
Done.
Yes. Good. You have my phone number, I think, on the screen.
I will. Thanks.
Let me see in the chat if there's questions or there are other questions. Okay. No questions at all? Okay. So if there's no questions, let me tell you, how can you help? How can you be a part of HalevAfrica? So first of all, if you want to donate, you can donate on PayPal, on Beat, directly to the HalevAfrica bank account, and all the ways you want. You can be a donor that, adopt one kid, and you can be a part of a group. And if you're a part of a group, you donate $100 per year, and I'm putting you in a group for one kid, and you get the message once in the same month every year for your donation. During the year, of course, every time I'm in Africa and every time there's progress with Baraka, with Susie, with Veronica, you get pictures and you can, whatever you want. Because I have so many people for one kid, so I don't go to the kid and ask him to say thank you to this one, to say thank you. I don't bother them. I tell them, sorry, that these are people from Israel, and some of them are Jewish, some of them are not, but these are good people that love them and care about them, and that's it. But I don't bother them with the specific. I had cases before that a person that I met, a grandmother, wanted to donate the whole scholarship on behalf of her granddaughter. So the granddaughter talked with the girl, which was amazing. But this was something specific, and I'm not sure it's gonna, work like this, because at the end of the day, the girl from Africa sees the day here, and it's not, I need to think about it if this is the right way. But a small video and thank you, and I love you, and I send you a drawing, this is okay. But I'm really, really thinking also about the kids in Tanzania, about, their feeling and what they see and what they can learn from it. Do you have any more questions? No questions?
All right. Well, Ayelet, on behalf of Paul Mirage and the Mirage Institute, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today, and the amazing work that you're doing. Really touched me, brought tears to my eyes. I'm just so moved by what you're doing. You've really changed the life of so many children. I definitely applaud you for your efforts and your good heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for having me here. It was really honored to be here. And of course, Sharon, I'm going to write down my phone number on the chat that you will have it.
Yeah, I sent you mine. So if you want, you can also write yours and I'll copy it.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to write down mine in case if somebody wants to connect me or email me. Okay, and the email. All right. Sharon, I'm going to write yours also. Are we holding everybody because of the phone?
No, no, you're good. Continue,
Okay.
please. Absolutely, yes.
1 more minute.
No, take your time. No rush.
I got it. All right. All right,
Okay.
everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. I really hope you're going to connect with me and help me with this amazing goal. All right. Thank you
Thank you so much.
Have a
Bye.
great
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
Bye.